Before I even begin, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I pour my heart into these stories, and your support means the world. Also, share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you would have done if you were in my shoes. It all started with one text. One text that should have been harmless, a quick note from my wife, Lisa. I was sitting at my desk after a long day at work when my phone buzzed. I unlocked it, expecting one of her usual sweet messages. Instead, it read, "My boss just said something." Weird. I don't know what to think. I'll tell you when I get home. The moment I read it, my stomach sank. Weird. What did that even mean? My first instinct was to brush it off. Maybe she was exaggerating. Maybe it was nothing, but the unease settled like a stone in my chest. 10 minutes later, I heard the front door open. Lisa stepped in, smiling, carrying her laptop bag. That something was off. The light in her eyes felt strained, and her usual laughter was muted. "Hey," she said, dropping her bag. "Crazy day." That text. "What did he say?" I asked, trying to keep my voice normal, but failing. My heart was racing. She hesitated, fidgeting with her keys. "It's nothing, really. Just work stuff. Don't worry about it." I nodded, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I should worry. Something in the way she said it, the way her fingers tapped nervously against the counter, it screamed that it wasn't nothing. The next few days were a blur of subtle suspicion. Lisa started leaving her phone face down more often, shutting the laptop whenever I came near, taking long calls outside. At first, I doubted myself. Maybe I was overthinking. Maybe I was being paranoid. But the doubt in her eyes when I questioned her only made it worse. Then came the accidental discovery. I was making coffee early one morning when her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. I hadn't meant to look, but the message preview flashed just enough to catch my attention. "Can't wait to see you tonight," boss said. "It's okay if we meet after hours." Time stopped. My hands went numb. My chest tightened so much I felt like I couldn't breathe. I stared at the words, trying to convince myself I was reading it wrong. But the truth didn't need convincing. I felt like I'd been living in a fog, slowly waking up to a nightmare. I confronted her that night. Not in anger, I couldn't even muster that yet, but in a trembling, hollow voice. "Lisa, who is this?" She froze, eyes wide. And then the walls came down. She tried to explain, fumbling over her words, saying it was complicated, that she didn't mean for it to go this far. I wanted to scream, to make her feel the pain she'd put me through. But instead I felt hollow, like someone had carved a piece of me out and left me standing there with the echo. In the weeks that followed, every memory stung. The way she used to brush her hand against mine in the morning, the laughter we shared over silly shows, the quiet comfort of her presence, it all felt tainted. I replayed every small lie, every hidden look at her phone, every excuse she'd made. I questioned everything about us, everything I thought I knew. But the worst part wasn't anger. It was the quiet heartbreak, the realization that trust, once broken, doesn't just rebuild itself overnight. I loved her. I still do, in some stubborn corner of my heart. But love wasn't enough. Not when the foundation of honesty had cracked. We talked hours and hours. Tears, silence, arguments. She admitted the betrayal not as a confession seeking forgiveness, but as a truth that she couldn't hide anymore. She had let things cross boundaries she shouldn't have, and she regretted it. I listened, numb, feeling both relief and devastation at once. Eventually, I made my choice. It's not out of vengeance, not out of hate, but for myself. I needed to reclaim my life, my dignity, my sense of who I am without being defined by someone else's mistakes. The separation was painful, but it was also a release, a chance to breathe again without the weight of betrayal pressing down on me every day. The last time I saw her, we didn't yell. We didn't accuse. We just sat in the quiet living room, the air thick with words we didn't need to say. I held her hand one last time and let it go, letting go of the pain and the love that couldn't survive the truth. Months later, I can think about it without the sharp edge of immediate heartbreak. I've learned that some people are lessons disguised as relationships, and that pain, as raw as it feels, can shape you into someone stronger, someone who knows their worth. I tell this not to make you hate or judge, but to show that betrayal, even the quiet kind, can hit you harder than any storm. And surviving it, that's the real victory. So, if you've been through something similar, or if you think I overreacted, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And don't forget subscribe so you never miss these stories of real life. Raw emotion and the moments that change everything.